Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to the Nemesis Online Racing F1 2017 Championship at Spa-Francorchamps. We apologise for the delayed start on behalf of Nemesis Online Racing League and on behalf of the commentary as well. We took a little while to get things set up, but now we're underway and we are good to go. So we're in qualifying right now. And you may have just seen Callum J. Spencer left this session. That is because he's just got to restart the application, and he will be back, so he will be competing today. Norfolk blew out on his outlap already, and we will stay on board and watch with him for just a little bit while we get up to date on what happened, because we didn't have a commentary in Hungary due to some issues on the GamingNow side of things. So on behalf of myself and the GamingNow team, I apologise of the lack of coverage for Hungary, but that was because of equipment failures, and unfortunately there's not much we could do about that. But we're back, we're bigger, better. We've got a wonderful new TV in the studio here. We've got a 4K curved TV, and it looks tremendous, and it's going to be great to commentate on, so I'm looking forward to this. Last time out, xxkillshotzxx took his first win of the season. He finished ahead of the other Welshman of JD7, and Chazza making another return to the podium. So great effort by Chazza, and Anil Tanovic, was that? No, Anil Tanovic DNF, I think. Well, no, it was Anil Tanovic came fourth. Great job by Anil. Great finish by Anil. Norfolk Blue DNS'd, so he did not make it, and there's not really much else going on there. So, as we take a look for the Belgian Grand Prix, it is JD7 leading the championship still, but now it's Chazza in second, but only by 10 points ahead of xxkillshotzxx, and xxkillshotzxx only at 1 point ahead of Maverick now. He's overtaken Maverick, and the thing is, these Maverick and xxkillshotzxx had a dispute on Twitter for everyone to see. You could probably go back and find it, and the funny thing is, they were arguing about who is going to get P2 in the championship, and now none of them have, because Chazza's snuck up, and we've got a crash, I think that is. Yeah, we got a crash. JD7, the man who came second in Hungary, has had a crash with the corner of no name, and people are having to take avoiding action, but he is out of the qualifying, and that was a wheel detached on the front of that McLaren. So wheel issue, not really, just a crash for the man JD7, and a usual suspect at the front of the grid, so he'll be a little bit disappointed. We're watching xxkillshotzxx, whose purple helmet matches the purple stripe super ultra soft tyres, and he'll be looking raring to go, looking off the back of his first ever win in this season, and in this series. I think that's his first ever N.O.R.L win, so great effort by xxkillshotzxx to get that win under his belt, and he'll be looking to build on that. He sets a 1:43.8, and he is ahead of Nemesis currently. He's the only other man to set time. Now Galactic Skull 2 comes and sets a time and goes up into P2. Another man we can try look for. Ooh, Nemesis Racing we've just gone on board with, and that has not gone well for Nemesis Racing. I'm not sure what's just happened, but he's had dramas coming out the top of Eau Rouge, and has had a big crash, and is now trying to find, of course you can't just return to the garage on this game, so he's now trying to make sure it's safe to rejoin the circuit, and he's disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous location. He was waiting until it was safe to rejoin the circuit, and the game has disqualified him for that. And that is, well, that's just Codemasters, isn't it? That's all we can say. Codemasters, that's a very harsh penalty, and kind of ruined Nemesis's chances of a decent qualifying, so I'm sure he'll be furious with that one. But he wasn't in a dangerous position. If anything, he was not being dangerous, because he was trying to stay out of the way so other guys could have their laps and not ruin anybody's lap, and unfortunately the game's penalised him for that. So here we go then. We're going to follow Chazza as he comes into Pouon. And if you get this corner wrong, poo is exactly what will come out if you get it wrong, so that's why they name it Pouon. It's not really. Don't tell your friends that. That's not a true fact. Maverick goes off into the gravel to stay out of the way. He's currently in P2, so he's happy with that. 0.6 of a second is the gap from Maverick to xxkillshotzxx at the top. Can this man slide into that gap? But look, another alternate strategy once again for Chazza, starting on the super soft tyres. super soft tyres for Chazza is always, he loves the contra strategy. He's a huge fan of starting on the harder tyre and going long into the first stint and being able to go from there. So that's exactly what he's trying to do at the moment. And he needs a good qualifying position over that strategy to kick off. He comes across the line and we'll go P4. That's good enough for now, but I'm sure he'll want to give it another go. And you can see some other drivers out there, and oh, okay, well, he doesn't want to give it another go as he retires from the session. But another man who's going to try to steal that strategy is Norfolk Blue. He was going to attempt to go on the super softs and steal that strategy. Meanwhile, the man who was disqualified Nemesis Racing, his teammate, is now out on a lap. Ragnar 184 coming into the chicane, and looking like he's pushing pretty hard in the Renault. Almost too hard there. Back end really got away from him and he almost had a crash. Quite a big crash if that happened. Here's a man who's usually close to the front as well. He's had a run of bad luck lately and has been finishing on the very outskirts of the points. Been disappointed with his performances and wants to return to the podium. Says that he does not like the way the track is on this game. Spa's his favourite track, but on this game he doesn't like it. He's been complaining about understeer all through practice sessions leading up to this event. So yeah, he's having understeer issues then for Callum J. Spencer. And then it's not the worst track in the world to have understeer. I'd rather probably have understeer than oversteer here, because if you have oversteer coming out of Eau Rouge like Nemesis Racing did, you can see how wrong it can go. Let's go to, he's retired from the session, he's happy with what he's done. Callum J. Spencer still on a lap, we'll follow him. Braking heavy into the slow S-bend section, a great section of corners. Gets on the throttle once again. He'll be aiming for at least 4th place, but again, Callum J. Spencer on the super soft tyres. And again, opting for the strategy that Chazza 35687 has made so popular, is starting on the harder compound of tyre. And a lot of people are beginning to copy him. They've seen it's got him at least 3 race wins, I would say, this season. Let me just clarify if that's correct. He's taken 3 race wins this season, and yeah, exactly. So he's had a great strategy that's took him to victory. Callum J. Spencer, a very disappointing lap from the Welshman. Very disappointing lap on the. Although he is on the super soft tyres, you got to consider that Chaz is up there in 4th on the same tyres. Norfolk, we think, may have qualified. We'll be able to. Let's have a check. We should be able to get that up. So that, yeah, look, Norfolk on the super softs, Chaz are on the super softs. That's disappointing for Callum Spencer. That, with all respect, was not the best of laps. And it sees him starting in P7. Great shout for Galactical 2. That was a good lap from him. And he's managed to qualify up in P6, out qualifying some fast guys. Anel Tanovic goes P2. Great effort by Anel, taking advantage of everyone else starting on this different strategy. A nice blue helmet to match the blue BWT logo. Not sure if that's planned or not, but it looks nice. Great effort by Anel Tanovic to put that within half a second of KB Killzone. KB Killzone is going on for another lap here as Anel pulls over to the side after he retires. Will this man secure pole position then by finishing this lap? His set to 3 is looking pretty poor according to the section up there, so we'll see. Okay, I think he's just starting a new lap, so he's going to try secure that pole position. Meanwhile, Maverick gearing up for another lap. These will be the last laps given the lap times that are going on here. So Ragnar, Maverick and KB Killzone are your drivers that are going to go for it for one last battle. And maybe Maverick can pull something special at the back, but he's back up in the podiums for the first time in a long time. I've also with Maverick's family, his family has gone through some hard times lately, has gone through a loss, and from all of us here at N.O.R.L and the GamingNow team, our condolences are with Maverick and his family, and hopefully he's able to put that all out, get some closure and just be able to concentrate on this race, get away from it all for a little bit. But we're all supporting Maverick during this poor time, so. Meanwhile, KB Killzone still eager to extend that gap for bragging rights, basically, at this point. He's pushing really hard. A 30.3 sector 1 and a 30.3 sector 3 for KB Killzone. He'll be the first of the bunch to cross the line unless Ragnar is... Yeah, Ragnar's coming in now, and Ragnar's going to be cutting it fine. Then Ragnar actually backed off and is now going for a lap. So Ragnar will be the last man over the line. He starts the lap now. Next man to cross the line will be this man, KB Killzone. He comes up to the line now. Extends his advantage by 0.4 of a second to be almost a second clear. And he retires confident with his efforts. Maverick will need something really special to challenge that, because that was one hell of a lap by KB Killzone. But they don't hand out the prizes until the race session, so KB Killzone will need to get lap 1 done clean, as so many times KB Killzone's been caught in a lap 1 accident and it's ruined his race, so he needs to get lap 1 done clean. Even if he starts from pole position, Ragnar's abandoned his lap. This man will be the final man to cross the line. Can he take P2 or even P1? Up to the line goes Maverick. He takes P2. P2 for Maverick at the last death. He takes that away from N.O.R.L, and he will start on the front row alongside KB Killzone. Two rivals going into turn 1 at Spa. This should be good. Just about a 1/10 of a second between Maverick and N.O.R.L going into the race session. Them guys are very close. Norfolk Blue leading the super soft strategy that he's going to try copy Chazza. Callum J. Spencer tried to copy the same strategy, but just did not have the pace to start amongst them. But we're going to go into the race session, and we'll see you then. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our drivers are getting ready to go and complete their formation lap. An interesting one then, of course, today. We have two guys going into turn 1, fierce rivals who do not like each other at all. They do not like each other one bit. N.O.R.L, a notable shout out, a great qualifying position for him, a top 3 start. We'll hopefully see him well. Leading the charge will be this man on the super soft tyres. He's the first of the super soft starters. He will be starting just in front of that man. And those are the two we've got to watch for the super soft tyres. Callum J. Spencer, of course, is starting on the super softs as well, but he's going to have to try his best to pass Galactic Skull 2 and Ragnar before he can even battle with Chazza and Norfolk on that strategy. JD will be one to watch. He's opted for the soft compound of tyre to try and make up for what has happened in his qualifying. Of course, he had a pretty poor qualifying, and yeah, he will be trying his utmost to try and fix that. And he's going to try to do that by going extremely long into the first stint. Nemesis, again, was unfairly disqualified by the in-game system, and is going to go for the ultra-soft tyres, and is going to try push his utmost to try make up for that issue he had in qualifying. He's going to have to pass a lot of people, and we'll be looking to battle with his good old rival of Galactic Skull 2, then to have been battling in every race series for a very long time that they've competed in each other, and they're going to be looking forward to getting better once again. This man could very well take his first podium in a while today. His first podium of the season. If all goes well, that is exactly what he is aiming for. And the podium is extremely rewarding. It is probably the most rewarding thing you can get. But he's going to have to fight off the super soft starters behind him and the ultra soft starters back in the field. Keep your eye out for JD7 today. He could be a spanner in the works with that very long soft tyre strategy. But the main two people to look for, of course, is KB Killzone and Maverick DC88, of course. But, of course, keep your eye out for Norfolk Blue and Chazza as well, starting on that super soft tyre that has won many races this strategy this season. This is going to be a great race, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we can see in the rear view mirror of KB Killzone. We are getting ready for 5 red lights. It's lights out, and away we go. Everyone was a little bit napping off the line there, and it looks like KB Killzone got the better jump of the two, and Maverick's trying to go a little bit wide, unable to do anything with it. We look back, the McLarens are going side by side already. Great start from JD7. He's passed a lot of cars into turn 1. Great effort from JD7. That's the stuff we like to see. Maverick already trying to mount an offensive on the back of KB Killzone. It's covered Will Rouge, and look at N.O.R.L. He's already pushing. He's actually gone underneath him. That is incredible stuff. N.O.R.L went underneath Maverick DC88. N.O.R.L now takes the lead. We're almost going 4 abreast into turn 3 into the chicane. KB Killzone takes on the inside contact more between N.O.R.L and Maverick DC88. N.O.R.L up into second, and the battle is still continuing because JD7 is going to try and make a move. We have Ragnar off in the background. JD7 looking to go to the inside. Chazza reluctant to let that one happen. That's going to force JD onto the grass. He will be furious about that one. He'll feel he was squeezed off on that one, and the Renaults are left to pick up the pieces. Maverick will want to get past N.O.R.L as soon as possible, but he'll be absolutely furious. I've never seen that before. An undertake, quite literally. He went underneath Maverick DC88 and got the move done. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But this is the battle for second right now. It's all gone extremely well for KB Killzone. He's leading the way. N.O.R.L has got the dream start that he could have wished for, although he did it by going underneath a Red Bull, and that's a little bit of lag. But look at this. These guys are side by side. That was a little bit of lag, and Maverick is now going to make the move at the inside. But look at this. They're that close to each other. The game thinks they're hitting each other. And the job done for Maverick. He's back up into P2, but N.O.R.L I'm sure, oh, he's gone a little bit sideways. Lost a lot of momentum. That's going to allow Chazza up the inside into the bus stop chicane. And he's gone from second to fifth in a couple of corners. He'll now have to defend from Callum J. Spencer. He'll be the next car to try and make an attack. But I think that is a safety car potentially deployed, unless I'm very much mistaken. It looks like everyone's going a little bit slow. I think there's just a little bit of lag in this server that's making people look like they're going a lot slower than they are. JD7's next target is going to be an attempted move on Nemesis Racing after they come through Eau Rouge. The soft tyre versus the ultra soft tyre. Look how much these guys are trying their hardest to fight back here. Side by side, JD will take to the outside line. Nemesis is going to try, hold it up the inside, lock up for JD, and he does the move around the outside. Great move by the Welshman on the soft compound of tyre. Meanwhile, during all that, N.O.R.L was able to re-overtake this man, and this man is now getting involved. Callum J. Spencer trying to get involved in a little bit of this action. We ride on board with Callum J. Spencer. N.O.R.L going a little bit wide on up ahead. That's going to allow Chazza to try have a go on N.O.R.L, but not quite close enough. They come into Pouon, and N.O.R.L has gone very wide again. He's going to go off the circuit. That's going to allow Callum J. Spencer. Very close stuff, almost contact. Issues, huge issues going on for N.O.R.L right now. He's got major oversteer. I think he had severe wing damage from that earlier battle with Maverick and Chazza. But looking like there's severe damage on the car of N.O.R.L, and the man who could have taken his first podium today has got all the odds stacked up against him. Meanwhile, Callum J. Spencer is trying his best now to hunt down Chazza. Of course, now the 3 super soft runners are in 3rd, 4th and 5th. They'll be battling each other as well as the ultra soft drivers up ahead. And I'm going to take a moment to catch my breath because that has been absolutely chaotic. I've never seen a car undertake someone before. KB Killzone takes the fastest lap of the race so far. And it's Norfolk Blue is not too far behind Maverick DC88, but you got to remember that these two behind him aren't as well. So the guys in the best position right now are the super soft runners. They can go a lot longer and they're not that far behind the other guys. Only 10 races today, but it's been a chaotic race of 10 men so far, and we're only on lap 3. I'm sure things can only get wilder. Maverick is closing in on KB Killerzone by about 2 tenths in the first sector, but DRS wide open for Norfolk Blue. That's going to allow him to close up in. He's probably the only one in that queue who had that. We have N.O.R.L trying to re-overtake the man of Galactic Skull 2. We look on the rear camera, we can just see how interested JD is now getting on Galactic Skull 2. It looks like JD could very much be going in for this move here, and it looks like he's going to go up the inside. Job done. Great camera angle. That was great camera work there to watch that move done on the onboard. That was great to watch. And JD is through, and Galactic Skull 2 loses 2 positions in a matter of heartbeats. But never mind, because Norfolk Blue has made absolutely insane progress around Puon to try mount an attack on Maverick into the really slow S-bends, and that's going to allow Chazza to get a little bit involved in this fight as well. Side by side they will go, and Norfolk is going to have to do it all around the outside, and it looks like he's just been squeezed out just a little bit there, and he's lost place to Chazza. Now Chazza up into P3. He's going to mount an attack on Maverick DC88, but he's going to have to do it in one of the sketchiest of places we have. Anil Tanovic has retired from the session. He is out. He's been, I think he's made contact potentially with the likes of Galactic Skull 2, but meanwhile Maverick is under pressure from the super soft runners. Chazza is going to go up the inside now. They're going to be free abreast going into turn 1. Calum J. Spencer is going to have a front row seat of this. We can see these guys. Chazza going majorly defensive to the outside line. He's going to try and take the wide line around, maybe a potential undercut on Maverick DC88, but Norfolk Blue has undercut them both and will now get the position back. He's going to be charging side by side with Maverick going into Eau Rouge, and surely he will have the job done here, but Maverick is going to try hold it around the outside. Chaotic stuff, and he's had to bail out of it. Huge crash. Maverick DC88 crashes out at Eau Rouge, and oh my goodness, that was such a big impact. We've got an error in the session, and we're going to try get right back in on the action, but something has happened, and that has made Maverick crash into the wall. That was a huge crash from Maverick. I'm not sure what's happened, but for some reason that we've had an issue, and we're unable to spectate at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on. We're going to try our best to get back in the session. We've had an issue with the session. That was a chaotic end to potentially. I'm not sure what's happened. We're struggling to get back in. We're going to try leave the session and rejoin. Just bear with us. I'm not sure what has happened there. I'm going to try get back in, but we can't promise anything. We're not sure what's happened. An error in the session has kind of struck us out of action. Please, if you want to get your snacks down your neck or get a drink, now's the time to do it, because I'm certain from that action we're going to be thrown right in at the deep end once again. That was a huge accident for Maverick DC88. He tried to hold it around the outside. Okay, I think we're rejoining now. He tried to hold it around the outside and he should have backed out, just didn't have the grip. He had the eagerness, but not the grip. And unfortunately for Maverick, that's ended in tears. And he's out of the Grand Prix, and I will not be surprised if we rejoin and the safety car greets us. And it is a safety car then. As we rejoin, a safety car has been deployed, and in a chaotic form of events, Norfolk Blue now leads, because I think KB Killerzone, he has pitted to get some soft tyres on. JD has pitted to take the soft tyres off. Nemesis Racing opts to pit as well. He will rejoin the circuit and try catch that field back up. Galactic Skull 2 opted to pit as well, and I think so did Ragnar. So your top 3 now are the top 3 super soft runners, and the super soft strategy has come under a little bit of threat. And that is because they could go longer than the ultra softs, but a safety car's come into play, and the man they were trying to pressurise is right behind them on tyres that could easily go to the end of this Grand Prix. with these guys still needing to make a pit stop. So the super soft strategy was so good, but a safety car has played the spanner in the works. And we're about to find out which strategy will win, because JD has gone from soft tyres to super soft tyres. JD obviously opted for more grip than life in the tyre. But Norfolk Blue now leads them. A net lead for Norfolk Blue ahead of Chazza, Callum J. Spencer and KB Killzone. We don't know when the safety car's coming in. We will only know when the lights on top like that go out and it drives away pretty quickly. So we're going to watch on board with Norfolk Blue and find out when that safety car is going to pull away. But it all ended in tears. Averick again tried to hold it around the outside, got on the dirty marbles and didn't have the downforce. A lot of these guys will be running a very low downforce setup for that reason. They'll be running a low downforce setup to get the best out of it in straight lines, and that means you can't do crazy stints like that. We're going to take a look while we're on the safety car. The safety car is staying out. We're going to take a look at the fuel situations for each drive. Of course, they're all going to be preserving, but who's the most to play with on the restart? Norfolk Blue doesn't have a lot at all. Chazza has about half a lap spare and gaining. KB Killzone has 1.5 laps spare. KB Killzone, a lot of fuel to play with. Watch out for him on the restart. He's going to have a lot to play with. Even more so, JD has almost got 3 laps of spare fuel. JD can afford to run in rich for a long time. JD, definitely one to watch. 1.15 laps of spare fuel for Nemesis. He will surely try to attack, but with JD having that much spare fuel, he'll have to use it to defend from this man, who has also got nearly 3.5 laps of spare fuel for Colin McAllister, aka Galactic Skull 2. He's going to be running in rich for a while. Ragnar needs to do a bit more fuel saving, and Callum J. Spencer opted to pit then for soft compound tyres, just like his teammate did on the start, but they've done a reverse strategy at McLaren. So he's trying to copy the race leader KB Killzone. Meanwhile, the boys at the front on the super softs, they're going to stick to their guns and stay out and try and make this super soft strategy work. The restart will be chaotic, I'm sure. And that was such good racing, but I'm so sad that we have to report it ending in tears for Maverick DC88. If it's any consolation, everyone should score points regardless of their finishing, because there's only 10 men here today, but I'm sure Maverick wanted to compete for that second place. That's a big blow to his championship hopes, especially in his battle against KB Killzone. And well, the nearest championship battle now would be Chazza versus KB Killzone, fighting over second in the championship at the moment. Norfolk Blue hanging around up there, looking for the race win more than a good haul of points today. JD7, of course, thinking about the championship, but has a lot of fuel to play with. Just he's actually burning fuel off. JD's already burning fuel off because he wants a lighter car. Contra that with Galactic Skull 2, he wants as much fuel as possible, but a heavy car. So JD playing it smart, he wants to burn fuel off. A lot of these guys trying to burn that fuel and get the engines primed up already. But safety car definitely in this lap. And it's about to get crazy, so buckle up. Get ready. Because the racing will resume after the bus stop chicane. Here we go then, get ready for Norfolk Blue to jump. He jumps, but he gets a bit sideways. Is that going to allow Chazza to have a little bit of go? Certainly KB Killzone's wanting to have a go. He's looking to the inside of turn 1, hard on the brakes, deciding not to. JD7 almost running into the back of him. Chazza going a little bit wide. That's allowing KB Killzone to have a little look as they run down to Eau Rouge now. And KB Killzone has definitely got a lot of fuel, but of course, he's got a lot of a better run than Chazza coming out of turn 1. Up Eau Rouge they go then. Up in the slipstream already, pulling out of the first slipstream, but JD7 will have a front row seat of all the proceedings going on in front of him. He's going to try and make this a free wide situation. Yes, he is, but these guys are making it so close for him. Is Chaz going to lose 2 positions in 1? He'll try his best not to. JD7 around the outside, turns for the inside, outside again, and Chaz will lose his 2 positions in a corner. KB Killzone up into P2 then. Great start on the restart for KB Killzone. The only man he managed not to pass was Norfolk Blue. Norfolk Blue is going to try and run away while everyone does battle in the background, but you have to argue KB Killzone is in the best position to win now after that decisive move. And the man who's challenging him is the championship leader, JD7. He's going to be on the super soft tyres. He's going to have a little bit more grip as we look up and down the field, and we can see the Renault's had a pretty bit of a poor restart once again, but the closest battle now is Chowser trying his hardest to get back past JD7. He's going to be very hard pressed to do that. He's going to be absolutely hounding the back of that McLaren, but it's going to be quite hard to do. The top 4 very close, all covered within a second to one another. And the DRS will soon come into play when it is re-enabled by the stewards. But we are racing, definitely, once again. Anatanovic drops to lead the session. He's had enough. He's seen enough after what could have been today. Heartbroken for Anatanovic. We're not sure what happened, but he may have made contact with Colin McAllister, because Colin had lost a lot of time and was driving on his own after the accident, so I'm not sure what happened, but I'm not saying it was, but he would be the suspect I would place on if he was indeed near him at the time, if we thought it was an incident. Meanwhile, top 3, you could almost throw a blanket over them right now as they head up to Eau Rouge once again. Norfolk opted for a defensive line there, whereas KB Killzone went more for JD7 picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings of corner cutting, so he's cost himself a little bit out of Eau Rouge there. KB Killzone is trying his hardest, but Norfolk Blue just running such low downforce he can afford to resist the attack up the South Finish. Meanwhile, look at this battle going on. Dive bomb for Nemesis Racing up the inside out. Of course, this guy, Galactic tries to go around the outside to maintain the position. Great effort by him, and now he's going to be battling with his teammate in the background. I'm sure Ragnar looking to go the inside. Former championship, not thinking about it, but we got to focus on this battle at the front. Look how close these top 3 now. You could definitely throw a king-size duvet over the top of these guys right now as they come into poo on once more. Incredible how much grip KB Killzone is finding from these soft compound tyres. He's really pressuring the super soft guys, and the guys who are in the best position right now are definitely KB Killzone and JD7 on them fresh tyres. Calvin J. Spencer made a good start and has made it up into P5 after the restart. KB Killzone is pressuring this man. Norfolk Blue and Chaz are yet to make their first stop of the race, so they're at a disadvantage right now unless another safety car comes out, and then they've absolutely aced it. Meanwhile though, KB Killzone will again try to pressure as we come up to Blanchimont, and then the bus stops again. He's going to try it, but Norfolk has just got that little downforce. He's got such great straight line speed. He's going to have to do something fancy. Norfolk Blue covers the inside. Very late defence from Norfolk Blue, and now this is where things get a little bit tense because KB Killzone slowed up a little bit to avoid him there, and that's going to mean that JD7 is going to have an attack as he sets the fastest lap of the race. Going into turn 1, everyone's going to hold station for just a little bit. They're going to get ready for an assault into Eau Rouge, and then DRS should be active after Eau Rouge. That's the game everyone's playing here. Norfolk Blue is going to be a sitting duck after the attack. That is DRS coming his way. Galactic 2 picks up the penalty as we run through Eau Rouge on board with KB Killzone. I'm sure I'm about to find out how this ends because JD7 has again got a supreme run. He's going to have a front row seat. He's going to try and take Norfolk's slipstream to try and mount an attack. They both close off the middle. They saw JD was going to go for the middle, and that was not the case, and he's just going to simply follow KB Killzone through. But Norfolk Blue very reluctant to let that one happen. Contact between JD7 and Norfolk Blue. He's kind of shunted out the way by the new tyres, and unfortunately he will settle down back from first all the way down into P3. JD7 will continue his assault on KB Killzone. He knows now that he has to get past him while he's got the fresher tyres. He has to get past him on the fresh tyres. He's wasted too much time behind the soft runner already. He's followed him through. Very clever stuff though from JD7 to just let KB Killzone make the moves and follow him through, but now he needs to get him out of the way. But the top 4 still covered by not even that much. The fact we can all see them in the same pan shot is incredible. We can see they're covered by 1.8 seconds, the top guys right now, so not even 2 seconds covers the top 4 at lap 10 of a 22 lap race. That is incredible to say. JD7 though is on the attack. He will stick to him like glue through Blanchimont. We'll ride on board, just see how that goes, and they'll have to try have a go into the bus stop chicane. Surely going to be hard on the brakes. Up the inside it will go. They both lock up. KB Killzone maintains the position, but JD7's going to go for the undercut. Spectacular undercut. He'll now get a little bit of DRS to help him. And now he's going to try attack him around the outside into turn 1. JD7's marginally ahead as they brake, but locks up. And that's going to allow KB Killzone to get a position, but he's going to try an undercut once again. Power slide in the background for Nova Blue. That was spectacular to watch. But he's going to have a go going into Eau Rouge. We saw this is where it all ended for Maverick. Surely he's not going to try the same thing. He's just going to try stay tucked in behind as close as he can, almost pushing him up the hill of Eau Rouge. And he's going to have another go with the assistance of DRS once again. KB Killzone is going to try and make that Haas the widest vehicle you've ever seen. JD7 looks to the inside. He's going to brake hard at the 100-meter board, and surely he's going to go past on the inside now. No, KB Killzone trying with all his might. Hand of Rage thrown up by KB Killzone and JD7, and KB Killzone maintains the position again from some aggressive defending from KB Killzone. He's trying to hold up JD7 as much as he can now because he knows it's going to affect him a lot later in the race. It's going to help him out, but that is bringing back the old super soft tyre runners of Chazza and Norfolk in the background back into this fight, and this could all end in tears like it did for the man of Maverick very, very soon. We're going to take a look back because Galactical 2 battling with Ragnar. That battle has just ended, but KB Killzone still leads, and look how close Norfolk Blue and Chazza are now. Chazza wants that podium position. He's right, you've had enough of attack up there, Norfolk Blue. It's my turn to have a go. Let me through, and I'm going to go through. If you don't let me through, I'm not. He looks to the inside, not on that corner though. That would have been a bit of a suicide mission, but he needs to get a good exit out of this corner, and that way he'll get a good run all the way up to Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane and be able to position his car either on the inside or the outside. If he has the overrun, he should be able to pass him quite easily on the brakes. But excuse me, we're foaming at the mouth for commentary, but now KB, oh, what's just happened to JD7? Huge contact, and he's lost his front wing. I think they made contact coming into Blanchimont, and JD7 is just letting that car sit there. He cannot believe what has just happened. Oh my goodness, I'm not sure what's just happened, but I think they made contact in Blanchimont. But something happened, and JD7 has just had to take a minute. And he's thinking about retiring. Is he going to continue going? I'm not sure. But what happened there? Was there contact between JD7 and KB Killzone? We didn't quite see it. We had a camera flicker. And he's going to pit. And could that be the end of JD7's day? I'm sure he's going to be taking KB Killzone to the steward's office. Comes into the pit lane. We'll see what the plan is then for the McLaren. And there it is, a retirement then for JD7, the man, the championship leader who could have won here today, is going to furiously retire from the session. They're going to practice a pit stop on that McLaren car. All for nothing though, because he has retired from the session. Was there contact between KB Killzone? I don't know what happened to Norfolk Blue. Norfolk Blue pitted during all of that chaos for these soft compound tires because we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. That will be JD retiring. But, wow. So the man that could have won and was firmly leading the championship going into this round, DNFs, and could potentially come under threat for that championship lead come the end of the race now. But I think, just judging by his body language, the way he just left the car in 8th gear and just sat there, let it roll around on the grass, I think he's infuriated and he can't believe what's just happened. And I think we may see a steward's inquiry between the leading two. But once again in N.O.R.L, we have controversy concerning the leading two. Chazza is going to pit to try avoid the undercut from Norfolk Blue. So that's what we're going to focus on right now. Chazza versus Norfolk in the undercut. He's going to come in and fit the ultra soft tyres. Interesting strategy because Norfolk Blue has gone for soft tyres. So he's going to have a lot more life in the tyres. But not a lot of speed. So here we go. It looks like it's a firm, comfortable undercut for Norfolk, but he's going to have to go the long way around turn 1 while Chazza can take the short route. That's close, but undercut successful for Norfolk Blue. But very different strategies in terms of tyres for these guys then. And Chazza is now the only ultra soft runner in the field. KB Killzone comfortable leading. Callum Spencer, not his biggest fan, behind him in second on the soft tyre, looking to go to the end. Galactic Skull 2 and Ragnar are going to do battle for 3rd place now. Let's get ready to watch this. As they come into the corner with no name. Galactic Skull's rear end doesn't look that interested in that battle. Through poo on they will come. turbulent air through Puon must be absolutely horrific for Colin McAllister, aka Galactic 2. Will he sense a dive bomb? No, he will not. He will stay a little bit calm. Meanwhile, though, Chazza and Norfolk Blue might sense a dive bomb. Norfolk Blue goes very wide. That's going to give Chazza an opportunity to take a look around the outside into the S-bends. He's going to brake harder, and they're going to go side by side through this section. That's going to be close. Now turns to the inside. Chazza will have the better traction on the count of the better stability of the tyres, but again, it's like a situation with JD7 and KB Killzone. He needs to get past him while he has the grip. They're going to come up on a battle on Nemesis Racing. And Nemesis will have a great view of this, come right on board with the rear of that Renault to just see what he can see in his rearview mirror. Fastest lap of the race on the soft compound type for KB Killzone, really turning it on right now. Norfolk Blue looking like he's going to make the move, and I'm not sure Nemesis really wants to get that involved, but he's made Norfolk lock up. They've banged tyres clearly on that. Is that going to allow Chazza in the background to get a little bit of an overrun? Norfolk goes flying after flicking the DRS up, and then they're going to Mika Sala him. One goes to the inside, one goes to the outside. They pass him like Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen, but unfortunately, unlike Mika Hakkinen, Chazza was unable to overtake the Ferrari during all of that as well. Great battling. The battle will resume though between these two. DRS surely for Chazza on this occasion as they come out of Eau Rouge. The rear wing flap will open. It's going to be close, and I'm not sure he'll have superior grip, but I'm not sure he'll have superior braking power. And then he's unable to do anything into the chicane. Oh, but that might get him the opportunity though. Norfolk opened the door and then slammed it back on the Mercedes nose. Close racing, big lockup now for Norfolk Blue. These guys battling absolutely hammer and tong into the corner with no name. Car 21 versus car 16 into Puon once again. Last time out, Norfolk Blue went wide, and that gave Chazza an opportunity to attack. Will Norfolk Blue go wide again? He'll go a little bit wide. Look how close, almost pushing him around Puon. Surely he's going to have a go around the outside into the slow S-bends. They'll go side to side once again. It's going to be close, but Norfolk Blue slams the door once again. Norfolk Blue realises he might have to fight for his life against the Ultrasofts because he has the better life, but the better grip. Don't even worry about it. Superior traction allows Chazza to pass him really easily into the next corner, and that's the job done for Chazza. The man of the Contra strategy is up into 4th place. This man may be thinking about pitting soon. I'm not sure, but he's up in P3 at the moment. And if he plans to stay out, he might want to try to take that podium, but he's got very fast drivers closing in on him in a battle of the death. DRS open for Norfolk Blue. He really needs to mount a counter-attack coming out of Eau Rouge, so just focus, get a good exit. That's not a good exit, and that will allow Chazza to pull away from him just a little bit. And he wants to stay as close as possible if he wanted to utilise that DRS. We know that Ferrari is very slippery in a straight line. The setup is running his low downforce for sure. Norfolk Blue pushing all the way. Is he going to pull to the inside? I think he'll think about it. Oh, big lockup for Norfolk. We had tyre screeching there. That's going to cost him time. Look how much he was able to close in though before he made that mistake. If he was any closer, he would have got the job done. So this is the closest battle on track right now. And this could be the battle for net 3rd once they catch Galactic 2. But Galactic 2 will be happy that they are battling this hard because see Galactic 2. And just how far he is. He's on the other side of Puon. But now Chazza's going to make the most of these Ultrasofts and really go for it. Come right on board with Chazza. You just watch the grip of these fresh Ultrasofts works. Now he's past the man he was battling on that strategy. Norfolk Blue opted for the softs for more life, whereas Chazza thinks the Ultrasofts will work just fine. We'll have to see at the end if Chazza's tyres go off the cliff or not. But he's got superior speed, surely, just from tyre compound alone. And this man's won races, of course, as well, so he's a fast driver. He's a tactical thinker, and that's really won him a lot of things this season. And there goes Galactic 2 into the pits then. 5-second stop go for Norfolk Blue. That's a harsh penalty for exceeding the track limits. But this man's battling with Ragnar. We can dry focus on this for a minute and see if the undercut will work for Ragnar or not. This is a nice shot of the pit stop. Away he goes. And Ragnar's comfortably through, but he's now attacking his teammate. Let's watch the battle of the Renaults. That is Not what the F1 2012 N.O.R.L champion wanted to do out of turn 1 there. Surely that was close. That could have ended in tears. He's now lost a little bit of time to his teammate on the super soft tyre. Two Italians battling it out in the Renaults. Both big supporters of Giancarlo Fisichella, I'm sure, the Italian driver for Renault, be wanting to recreate a slightly more balanced battle than it was between himself and Alonso. But it's closing right on him again. It looks like Nemesis's tyres are really starting to give way now. The traction Ragnar's getting, especially through these corners, it's pretty nice. He will follow his teammate into Pouhon. Nemesis Racing goes defensive into Pouhon. Oh, Nemesis got really hard on that curb. That means he goes extremely wide. Look at the power slide from Ragnar into the wall. He just clipped the curb and power slided on the exit of Pouhon. That's going to bring him under pressure from Galactic Skull 2. Wanting to get in on this battle on the super soft tyres. Ragnar will have dirty tyres. He went on the grass. He'll be without grip for a little bit. And Galactic Skull 2 is going to compromise on that. Up the inside. Great job. Opportunistic stuff from the Scot in the Toro Rosso. Ragnar won't want to let that one go in a hurry though, I can assure you that. Ragnar is going to try and mount a counter-attack surely, as Galactic Skull 2 tries to hunt down the Renault of Nemesis Racing. Oh, Galactic Skull 2 hit that curb pretty hard. Great racing between this pair. DRS open though for Ragnar right now, which means if he gets a better exit out of turn 1, he could easily challenge. Ragnar gets a penalty for that. Wow. So for using the apex of turn 1, he gets a very harsh penalty. Penalty system on this game does need some refinements, I think is the nicest way to say it. Because we've seen some very interesting penalties, including Nemesis being disqualified for not driving back on the racing line after having a crash. But Ragnar, really poor run out of turn 1. And now Galactic Skull 2 will hunt down the man in front of him, which is Nemesis Racing in the Renault. 6 laps to go. The battle for P5 is hotting up, but the battle at the front looks all but done. Galactic Skull 2 really trying to put the pressure on Nemesis now. Here we go again then, this time, last time. It happened with Ragnar making the move on the exit of Pouhon, but got on the curbs and did a power slide, which allowed Galactic Skull 2 back into the fight, and Ragnar's now waiting to pick up the pieces if anything goes wrong. Is Galactic Skull 2 going to have it? Oh, Nemesis outbroke himself, anticipating a dive bomb. Great move, just by keeping composed on Nemesis Racing. Nemesis Racing thought a dive bomb was coming from the Scot and outbroke himself in doing that, and scared himself off the road. So Galactic Skull 2 is through. Meanwhile, Nemesis Racing then will now do battle with his teammate once again. He will try catch him up and do battle once again, but Galactic Skull 2's got the both of them in a good affair of racing. I'm sure he'll be impressed with that one. Looks like the battle at the front isn't changing that much, so we can afford to watch the teammates do battle once again. Into turn 1 they'll go. Is this going to be a dive bomb from Ragnar? I think Nemesis thought a dive bomb was coming too. Did you see him dive to the inside line there? He felt a dive bomb was coming from his teammate. They're going to battle into Eau Rouge now, the two Renaults. These guys don't get that much exposure, but they've earned some exposure today, and they're going to have a great race to show us. Coming out of Eau Rouge, now they come. Ragnar will come out of here with DRS. Norfolk Blue took a penalty there. Nemesis goes extremely defensive, and looking like he's running the slicker car in terms of low downforce. Ragnar not able to get anywhere near him, even with DRS. Into the chicane, but it looks like he's going to suffer in the corners because of that. Look how close these two are. Now Ragnar will look to the inside line. He's going to try and make a move up the inside. Can Nemesis answer with anything at all? I'm not sure he can, unless he needs to stay with him now and get him again under the straight. That's his best asset, but you can see his car's just not interested. Ragnar 184 through into P6. So everything's calmed down. We can take a look at what the situation is. 3 retirements in the pits. KB Killzone comfortably leading from Callum J. Spencer, unable to answer with anything. Chazza in P3 on the contra strategy is trying his best with 4 laps to go to close in on Callum J. Spencer and take P2 away from him, but it's going to be a tricky Tricky one. I think they made a mistake not pitting under the safety car, did these two. Chaz's tyres, debatable if they're going to make it to the end, and that's what Norfolk Blue is hoping on. Galactical 2 will safely get to the end, and Ragnar and Nemesis have done their battling, and they're both looking toward the end of the race now. So, Nemesis racing into the pit, nothing to lose, just wants some fresh boots, and that's a 5-second stop go for speeding in the penalty for Nemesis Racing. We just caught that on camera. He just sped up, and maybe he was only like 1 mile an hour, but it's a slam dunk penalty as the pit crew get to work on the Renault, and away he goes. So Killzonex might have made a mistake, because Callum Spencer's closed in on him by about 6/10 of a second during this lap, so that's interesting. The gap's going back up again, but Killzonex must have made a mistake. Trying to keep calm and composed is the Haas driver. Driving along in his American machine. Chassis made by Dallara, the innards made by Ferrari, the stickers made by Haas. So we can call it a Haas because it, yeah. The top 3, oh wow. So our newly crowned champion in the Project Cars N.O.R.L League and 2-time Formula 1 Championship, Christopher Pettersson, aka Krill Pills, has informed me that if KB wins and Chazza gets third, then the top 3 on the championship will be tied. So that will be, wow, what a scenario that will be. Let me take this time to congratulate you, Krill Pills, on stream. You've just won your GT3 Championship, your first ever Project Cars N.O.R.L Championship, and they're pretty nice to win. I've won 3 of them myself, and they're really satisfying to win. So great job, champion, and happy to call you champion for a year, and we'll see if you can defend it. But the F1 grid misses you, and I'm sure they'd love you to be in this race right now. But maybe next year we'll see the return of the 2-time champion. Now 3-time overall champion, but 2-time F1 champion from Sweden. So the race has calmed down significantly, and I think that's a large case of only having 7 runners after having 3 DNFs. JD7, if you've just joined us, JD7 DNF'd after we believe he made contact with KB Killzone in Blanchimont and had an airplane crash as a result. We're pretty sure he's not happy in the slightest. Maverick tried to defend an attack from Norfolk into Eau Rouge by holding the outside line around Eau Rouge, had an airplane crash at Eau Rouge, as you can imagine, and we believe Anil Tanovic may have had contact just coming out of this corner KB Killzone's just come out of with Galactic Skull 2, which saw him in the wall without a wheel, which was a real shame for him because he had a real opportunity to take 3rd place, his first podium of the season, so he's a little bit disappointed to say the least. So 3 seconds separates 1st and 2nd, 3 seconds separates 3rd and 4th. Chaz's tyres looks like they've reached the cliff and of performance and not able to close in on Callum J. Spencer anymore. Looks like he's short shifting a little bit there. We're just going to try to check. He's got 0.18 litres of fuel, so he's trying to do a little bit of fuel saving while he can. Another short shift there. Definitely short shifts coming. You can see he's not maximising the revs, so he's trying to save some fuel. Meanwhile, this man doesn't give a monkeys about fuel because he's on minus fuel and is in rich because he senses that the tyres of Chazza have finally gone off the cliff. The opportunity he's been waiting for, and he's now actually pulled 0.8 of a second out of this. Is interesting. Callum J. Spencer's now just picked up a 3-second time penalty, which could come into play later on if he has a mistake and Chazza comes into play once again. But the tyres of Chazza have definitely gone off the cliff, and the Norfolk Blue is able to close in again. You can see the fuel going on here for Norfolk Blue. He's conserving fuel in the corners in lean mixture, as you can see, and then when he gets on any straight, like coming out of the corner with no name, you watch it, the fuel will go back up into Rich as he tries to hunt down the man on dead tyres. We may have a last lap battle forming, ladies and gentlemen, for 3rd place on the grid, as the ultra soft tyres of Chazza have reached their peak performance and can't progress any further and will only degrade from here. Norfolk's been a little bit conservative on his tyres, let Chazza get away, tried to hold him up as much as he could, but he knows that the tyres will come back to him for sure. So we're continuing to push forward. And look at the gap on the left-hand side of your screen that Norfolk is taking out of Chazza. Chazza's tyres are gone. And I kind of feel if he lets Norfolk near him, he won't have much to answer with when Norfolk makes an attack under traction or braking. But lap 21, the penultimate lap of the race, KB Killzone leads quite comfortably. Don't think he has any penalties. Callum J. Spencer has a 3-second penalty. He's not challenging at all today. The challenge from the Welshman in the McLaren is over. Penultimate lap though, and this man's re-closing in on Chazza because Chazza's tyres have gone. But Chazza has a lot more fuel to play with than Norfolk does. Norfolk should be fuel conserving, but he's not. He is now. A little bit of a lift and coast before he hits the brakes. He needs to find some fuel. Chazza's got spare fuel but no traction. This is interesting. Chazza's got the fuel but not the traction. Norfolk's got the traction but not the fuel. And now they're very close together. And now what does Chazza have to answer with? Galactical 2 picks himself up a penalty. Great battle mountain between Mercedes and Ferrari. Norfolk needs to be careful that he doesn't overcut them tyres too much. He needs some grip to mount an attack on the final lap. He's going to try his best to do that. Not a lot of fuel to play with. He's almost back within target. This man's got plenty of fuel to play with, and I'm sure he's conserving that for when he needs to go into battle. Norfolk's been holding at about half a second for a while as he tries to conserve his fuel. Look, you can see he's still in lead even on the straights, trying to get the fuel back under control so he has enough to play with on the final lap. That's why he's not really been able to close in from half a second, because he's in lean, and now he's going to have a little bit of DRS. Can he afford to stay in lean even with DRS? Not sure, but lap 22 begins. Norfolk still needs to find some fuel to make it to the end of the race. He's just on target, but he still wants a bit of fuel. He's going to battle in lean mixture, but now he's up into standard. He knows that he needs the fuel to do battle now. Coming into Eau Rouge. They will come. Rich mixture. He's really pushing his fuel now, but he's going to go to the inside. Chazza goes extremely defensive. To the outside will go Norfolk Blue with DRS. Surely he's going to be ahead into the braking zone. He will brake pretty hard. Chazza won't really have much to answer for in terms of traction, but he has fuel to play with, and that's all they can really hope to do. But the tyres are gone, and in the strategy we thought Chazza had nailed, Norfolk have got wrong. In the end, it appears that he didn't have the life in the Ultras to keep that third position. Norfolk Blue up into P3. Does Norfolk have any penalties? That's what we've got to consider. We're going to quickly see if we can look. Does Norfolk Blue have any penalties? He has had some, but has he served them? A 3-second time penalty was a warning for multiple warnings, and not a single one for Chazza, I don't think. So Chazza just needs to stay within 3 seconds of Norfolk Blue to get his third place back. That's why Norfolk Blue's in Rich trying to run away. He knows he needs to build a 3-second gap. It stands at 1.4. He needs another 1.5 seconds. Not a lot of traction in high-speed corner zones he can really do to build that. I think Chazza will get his third place back under penalties. KB Killzone wins the Grand Prix. Callum J. Spencer comes home in second. Norfolk Blue will run to the line and finish the Grand Prix, and Chazza gets it under penalties. Unfortunately for Norfolk, penalties cost him in the end. This man comes home to take a very respectable 5th place. He'll be happy with that one. His best result for a while. He'll be happy with that. Ragnar beats his teammate to come home 6th. And last of the runners, we can't really take much away from him, because although he is last of the runners, he managed to finish. 3 of the fastest guys in this league didn't finish today. This man did, so he deserves some credit. P7 will be for Nemesis Racing. He put on new tyres at the end to have a little bit of fun, and he'll run up to the line now to finish the Belgian Grand Prix. But there you go then, the champion's theory is complete. He believed if KB Killzone won and Chazza came third, which they did, then the leaders will be tied on points going into the next round, so that's going to be great. So that is the race done. KB Killzone on the podium once again with another win. Second win in a row. Second N.O.R.L victory. He'll be happy with that one, I'm sure. Callum J. Spencer second. Made up on other people's misfortunes today. And Shazza came home in third on penalties after Norfolk took that 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. And that cost him in the end. He got the strategy right, but he got the corner got him wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Belgian Grand Prix, round 12 of the F1 2017 N.O.R.L League. And I hope you have enjoyed. A little bit of controversy going on, and I'm sure we'll have some steward issues to take as well. It appears that Norfolk did not serve his stop-go penalty, so he's been given a 10-second time penalty for not serving that, so he was never within a chance in the end of taking third position. But that has been that, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. Those are your results on screen. Now, the next time you'll be hearing from me commentating will be round 5 of the ISR AIC in Nürburgring. I hope I can see you then. And the next time I'll be commentating with N.O.R.L will be round 13 for the Italian Grand Prix. So thank you ever so much for watching, guys, and until next time, take it easy, have a good week, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't see you before then, guys. And until next time, it's been me, Toby Byrne. Goodbye.